So what I have created is a basic genetic program. Um, but the idea is that once you get this set, we're not seeing it that much. I mean, there are people that are still going to fall down. They're going to roll their ankle. They're going to hurt their back. I mean, there's life that happens. But I don't expect you to be sick or hurt, or the condition that you had should be managed. So what you'll get is a comprehensive physical exam. We look at the family history because, hey, what's family going to move on? And we might have to be looking at a little bit more detail into certain things. I want to know any current, even probably past medications because they can turn off the methylation process, any supplements you're currently taking, and symptoms, and then we'll do a specimen collection. If you've had routine labs run in the past 3 months, we'll use them. If not, we'll use a basic comprehensive yearly order will be issued. If you have insurance and you're under the age of 65, we'll run after that. If you're over the age of 65, which means you're in the Medicare world, we have uh, under Medicare costs. But we want to look at the we want to look at that thyroid. I want to look at how your body's metabolized. I want to look at how the body's detoxifying. So I want to look at the liver. I want to look and see if your body has any homocysteine from a cardiovascular standpoint. And if any of those are out, then we note them. So when you come back for your second visit, you get presented with your genetic profile. We have a plan for your maintenance, whether that consists of things that you need to change in your lifestyle, motion, diet, eating, or the supplements that go and affect the genes that you don't have working properly. So in our office, Dr. Trites, myself, will test you to find out what product works best for you, because I might have 4 different types of CoQ10 and maybe only one of them works for you. But of course, that assumes you're seeing me in Oklahoma City or Kansas City. But if you have family or you're unable to see me, we have a modified version of this plan for friends and family that can't make it in or live a long way away, and that's totally fine. So after we have our first 2 visits, and they're 30 minutes each, you will have a 1-month follow-up to just evaluate and make sure that your SNPs are being managed. Now, in some cases, and this includes mine, when we started doing this, I couldn't handle methylation, and nor would I do it. I knew that I would be crazy if I did it. I had to get the body's energy systems moving first, make the body make energy, and then I can go methylate, because otherwise you get side effects, and well, we're not wanting to be side effects. But so if you get sick or you have headaches, well, you're not functioning properly. So at this 1-month follow-up, I will decide, because sometimes it's going to be a little bit of a puzzle. We'll have to add here, add here, add here, and take away there. So maybe I need to see you quarterly. Maybe I need to see you twice a year. And sometimes, if you're lucky and you don't have very many genetic issues that are going on, we'll just see you once a year. If you have labs that are out of range, we'll set up a time for retesting, because we want to make sure if these processes are going well and you have a high homocysteine, your cholesterol's out, I want to see those come into play. I want to see those reverse and come back into their proper function. Hormones are out of play. I want to see them come down. A1C that's out of play. I want to see it come down. So if you have labs that are out of reference range from the very first one, we want to go back in time and make sure that we are doing that properly and that you're actually making progress. I want to see the cholesterol come back into play. I want to see the A1C come back into normal ranges. We want to make sure that you are making progress. This is where most of my colleagues go wrong. They find something and they give you something to it, but we don't really know if it's getting better or not. We want to ensure that those are getting better, because that is most important for anti-aging longevity. So again, what you receive, you get 2 30-minute sessions with me. The first consists of a comprehensive physical exam with family history. I want to look at what current medication, supplements, and any symptoms that you have. I want to get that specimen collection. If you've had any routine labs, again, run in the last 3 months, we'll use them, but we might have to add anything to it. If not, we look at the basic comprehensive yearly order. So it might, if you have to pay out of pocket, I will come up with a number for that. The second session will consist of looking at genetic profile. We'll go over the plan. I'll show you the charts and possibly connect the symptoms for you. The other thing I'm going to give you, I'll talk about that in just a minute. You will also be tested our way to find out what product works best for you. And of course, if you're out of the office, we'll create a video conference with you and explain what we feel will work best for unlocking genetic potential, and we'll follow up with laboratory tests if they're out of range. So you're going to get a written printout of your genes. This is a 45-page PDF, and then of course we're going to simplify it. It should be between 6 and 8 pages for your current SNPs or genes that aren't working right. and then the symptom slash correlation condition. So anything that might be at risk, or you might say, you know what, I'll use I have toe fungus that can't be fixed. Okay, that's a symptom. It's usually in the cardiovascular world, and we'll call it cardiovascular slash immune. So if you have these particular things going on, you have these genes that are for cardiovascular and immune. Okay, we're going to take a look at those. Then we're going to connect you to your data to investigate or show other practitioners if medication, supplements, or other treatments correlate with genetics. For instance, um, if I ever hurt something bad enough, I broke 33 bones in my life. Um, and I would say the majority of them as an adult because I play hard. Yeah, there might be a day that I'm like, I just can't take the pain anymore. I need to do something about it. And there's nothing I can do about it because it's broken. So I might take in a leave. Well, I found out in my genetic profile that, uh, well, we knew that aspirin, I always knew I had an issue with aspirin. Well, I have proof of that. But Aleve, I don't really break down or metabolize as well. It has to do with my genetic or my methylation. But in the case of ibuprofen, I handle it very well. And the side effects of ibuprofen that some people show, which is gastroirritation, or you can even get an ulcer or a GI bleed of some sort. I don't show the genes for that. They're well protected. So in the future, I'll probably move just because that's what is best for me. So I will give you that connection to your data so you can go look through your medications and we'll look through them together if you have several of them that we think this might be slowing down your body. We also can do that with supplements. So the big question of the day is, how much is it? With an hour in my office, with two 30-minute sessions, and the additional 3 hours of work that I need to do to get your genetic testing set up, and there's of course the cost of the testing itself. This can cost most patients $4,000, but until March, I'm going to donate my time because I think it's this important to your health. I think it's this important to the health of your family and anybody you know. You and everybody else that you would send in here will pay only $690. This program includes your two 30-minute visits, labs, if you need them. Of course, I'll take anything that you have. Supplements and follow-up visits are additional. If you have insurance, we run the labs for insurance. If you don't have insurance or you're Medicare and you don't have a supplemental insurance, we beat Medicare costs. So we need to have that to make sure that those processes aren't going on. So I see these as excuses. I don't see them as explanations. I feel we live in a society where we're stressed emotionally, financially, physically, and exposed to a range of toxins in our environment. Combining the underlying genetic susceptibility, it kind of creates a perfect storm. So we have to understand where those weak points are. That's what the genetic testing does. That's where the enzyme shows what do we need to do. That's where we come up with the supplement that's specific to your genes. We can bypass these accidents that are, a part of life. And when we can do that, we have a better road to map. So, unfortunately, I see a lot of other doctors that just don't do this. Why? Yeah, it takes time, but I mean, most of my patients take something or do something for their health, so they go out and get something or do something. Well, why not make it better for them? So this program helps you to understand that pathway in your body, and that pathway can be related to a ton of conditions and symptoms, and I believe it's the key to pathway to life and health. I personally believe that this pathway cannot function. It will severely compromise you. I'm not trying to scare you, but we just know that this is the science that's there. And if it's not working, it's inconsistent with the ability to survive. So methylation is part of it, and a lot of doctors look at methylation as the all of it. But it's like taking your car to a mechanic and you have a flat tire or the engine's not working, and all they do is take a look at the flat tire, but the engine isn't working. It's going to be a big deal. So the health of your children, your grandchildren, and even if you went backwards, help your parents and your grandparents. I believe everyone should have an equal opportunity to understand this and make informed choices to support themselves and their body. And the report that you get, you're allowed to take that to any doctor you want. If it's not me, that's fine. And show them that this is my genetic outcome and maybe I shouldn't be going down this pathway, but instead can you work with me to go down this pathway? Or when it comes to food choices, I know I can't eat this, but I can eat this. So the overriding tenet of this program is to give you the tools you need to make those informed decisions about your health and provide you the power and control for your health. I've written 2 books, and one of the main parts of those books are you are your own doctor. No one is going to be more interested in your health or wellness than you. That's not to say you can't go out and do it on your own. I'm sure people are smart enough to do it with or without your doctor. But what I'm suggesting is a paradigm shift, a different look on healthcare, and what this program gives you is the tools to change what you've been given and the ability to take charge of your own health by understanding what this role and the importance of genetic and critical methylation and the things that make energy and the things that detoxify the body. They're all equally important, but I want you to be your own doctor, and the only way to do that is to know who you are, what are you made of, and what do I need to do to get from point A to point B and make sure I don't get in the wrong pathway. I hope that makes sense, because that makes sense to me. That's what makes me passionate. That's what makes me get up and go to work in the morning. That's what makes it fun to go to work, is to be able to look at these simplified things, because I look at it in a simplified form, that biochemistry and what happened and where do we go. And if you don't have this, you end up with this condition. If you don't have this, you end up with this condition, and you add those up, and that equals pathology. So I want to keep my patients from doing that. And the reason we do that is that we do not have the ability to um, see 300 people a month. We just don't. There's not enough time. Not with the way that things go. You might have to see somebody in 6 weeks. You might have to see somebody in 3 weeks, or somebody got in a car wreck and those things happened. The only way for me to help more people on this earth is to come up with a better way, and a better way is genetic profiling. When we have genetic profiling, we can go find out what you need, turn off the genes or turn them on in the case that need to be, and manage their condition for long term. That's why I'm high up on it, and then you don't have to see a doctor as much. I know that sounds crazy, but that is the way I believe it should go. You should have a doctor to get you to the point that you are at maximum health, and you go see them when things break down. I mean, that's actually the way the rest of the world does it. We just do it differently here. So I'm trying to prevent at my best, and I thank you for your attention. I'm Dr. Alan Trites. If you want more information, you can call us, or you can contact us by email. God bless. Be well.